One More Turn. Episode 503, Exasperations.
After the hand you played in the Doe contract negotiations, all the time and in the events that has passed since, you slapped Riley instead of the other way around? I think not.
Strike me? You buffoon? You looking to gamble with more than just your money?
Did you hear that, Gare? Sounds like a promise, maybe even a threat of intent to harm.
Oh, what's the matter, man-child? Can't fight your own battles now that your baby brother moved on so he could drink himself stupid in peace?
Oh, line cross and double backed again, Bay.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Sorry, folks, my bad. Shouldn't have brought up who's getting in the what and will in a public place. Though, knowing the argument might come to blows, what better place than a hospital to have it, right?
Did you just imply that the three of us are...
My children, yes. Though if you were, I wouldn't have had to raise my voice like I just did, because you wouldn't have behaved that way.
You're letting that presumption of being Nora's father get to your head, Pops.
That, and you wouldn't have the faintest clue how your actual child would have behaved in this situation. Have you even spoken to her since that day you came to ask us to convince Acme Smith's board of directors not to sue Riley or the brothers Dork over Doe?
Now that the two of you have broken up again, how does that even begin to become any of your business?
When she comes to me for support after Carson rejects her advances, that's how.
Your tone and look suggest I would find that revelation surprising.
So, she hasn't even told you that she went to an ex for emotional comfort instead.
Bay, why do you even care? It's such a problem anymore. You really should reach out to her, Gary.
That's rich.
Hudson, I don't find your revelation surprising because she probably figured you were the most knowledgeable of us about being rejected.
Oh, wow, you just joined him in crossing that line and leaving it in your dust.
I'll strike you down right now, Pops, if I wasn't thinking of using you to sue Caleb for me.
Like he'd represent you after you slapped his girlfriend right in front of him, no less. Why didn't you strike back anyway, Gare?
I don't spank children.
Huh. Well, I'm sure I speak for Parson, Hudson, as well as myself when I say that maybe you should have.
If any one of you expects to see, let alone hold my child sometime between now and the next millennium, the next person you better slap better be me. Thank you, Pedro.
What has gotten into you, Max?
It's who's getting out of Nora that should really have you concerned.
Really, man-child?
I should have seen not only how my behaving badly was affecting my relationship with Nora and each of you, but also how it would affect your relationships with each other.
Since we've been around Bella.
Meanwhile, Avery's been too busy around Peyton.
There's no need to bring her into this.
Or him either, for that matter.
Hudson, what are you even doing here?
Well, when my sister won't answer my questions about that not-so-adopted sibling, or even return any of my contact attempts since she arranged that meeting from Awkward, you can imagine my surprise when I receive a text from her that Nora's gone into labor.
Why did you tell him that?
He's family too, and long since before any of the rest of you.
You know, I've been meaning to say this since we first learned of that. My condolences.
Oh, you know, Bay, I could have asked Bella to vet those documents from Avery. Why are you all staring at me like I sprouted a horn in my forehead? Gary, you know about those documents, remember?
Right. I just got caught up in the moment. My memory is just as good as yours. I've got the test results to prove it.
Where are you getting these test results from anyway? When were they done?
How did Avery get a hold of such documents? How could she have had enough personal information on file for Hudson to have any kind of legal standing to request them?
Is, Max right about that, Gary?
Yes,
Did you ask her about that?
No,
Have you given that any thought, Riley?
Are you critiquing my focus?
Answering a question with a question is not helping your case.
This isn't a court of law.
But perhaps it should be.
Well, yes, I've got electronic copies of those documents stored in my database. So?
Ah, okay. I think I follow where Pedro is going with this. Is your personal and professional database one and the same?
No, of course not. Oh, but see, Avery, Bella too, for that matter, would have access to my professional database because they bought Fortuna Works.
Snowflake, you asked me to vet the documents Avery sent you about Caden before that purchase went through.
Thank you for the reminder, honey.
Wait, now, does this mean that Riley uses the same password for both databases?
Also, Avery would have had access to that database before, when she was her partner.
I forgot to tell Riley that Avery advised me to tell her to change her passwords.
If, as you say, your memory's as good as ours, then we're as good as goldfish.
Well, we're gonna need to press pause on this for now. Riley's followed a nurse away.
One More Turn, written and created by Daniel Dan Q. Quick, edited by Michael Ubermarkler Bryant and Dark Cloud, directed and produced by Daniel Dan Q. Quick. Characters in order of appearance: Caleb, voiced by Michael Ubermarkler Bryant; Hudson, voiced by Daniel Dan Q. Quick; Riley, voiced by Stephanie Makalua; Gary, voiced by Christopher Blauerfackel Ryder; Max, voiced by Dark Cloud. Sounds courtesy of freesound.org. Music by Kevin MacLeod. Voiceovers by Canas Albinus. Visit the One More Turn website at onemoreturn.net. Copyright Civilized Communication at civcom.net.
On the next episode of One More Turn.
I think in this situation you need a more calming influence. Max?
It's the last man on the face of the planet I even want to think about right now.
Even more than Hudson?
Enough parts of me hurt right now without having to add my head to it.